President, based on his public comments over the last few days, did the president see this coming?
Well, I think what you have seen the president say, and many members of our military and our national security team say, is that we have been closely watching and assessing the threat of ISIS-K, and that we have had increasing concern about that threat growing over the last couple of days. So this has been a concern that we have been watching, and we saw, of course, the tragic events happen today.
And
joining me now to talk about that idiocy and several other things is Tom Amenta. He's a former Army Ranger, and as much as it pains me to say it, that probably means he knows more about taking airports than anyone else in the world. He's also the co-author of a book, The 20-Year War. Tom, okay, they were warned, and I get a bunch of political speech from this. Well, we took it under advisement. We certainly heard it. What does that actually mean? Because now I have people dead.
Well, let's go all the way back, because right now what we're watching with this administration is a stunning, in real time, if you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat it. When I talk to all of your viewers, all of your audience, and I say October 3rd and 4th, 1993, everyone goes Black Hawk Down. They know exactly what it is. Well, what most people don't realize is that about 2 weeks after that, Osama bin Laden, then the fledgling leader of this little tiny thing known as Al-Qaeda, released what he called the Paper Tiger Doctrine. And in it, he says, if we can make Americans see themselves bleed on CNN, they will fold like a paper tiger. And then he tried to bomb some embassies. Nothing. Then we bombed the USS Cole. Nothing. Finally, it was 9/11, and then we reacted. So what we're seeing right now in real time is we leave Bagram, which, by the way, you think 2 more airstrips wouldn't be really handy right now? Because I do. Nothing. Now ISIS-K does this, and we're getting these, oh, well, we were watching it or we were monitoring it. Like, please, this is literally history repeating itself in real time for this administration, and it's appalling.
Tom, I'm going to play you this John Kirby soundbite, and I'm still wrapping my mind around the reality of it. Here's okay. Kirby.
Of ISIS-K, how many ISIS-K prisoners were left at Bagram and are believed to have been released from the prison there, and why weren't they removed before the U.S. pulled out to someplace like Gitmo?
Well, I don't know the exact number. Clearly, it's in the thousands when you consider both prisons, because both of them were taken over by the Taliban and emptied. But I couldn't give you a precise figure.
Definitely seems like they have a good handle on things. Just want to clarify this for everybody listening. We had a bunch of ISIS guys in our hands, and then we just left Bagram, and what? We just left them some playing cards and food and water? Tom, is that what we did?
I think we left them the keys so they could just open up the doors and waltz out. Like, I mean, this is one of those points that myself and a lot of other veterans and a lot of other guys that have done the job I used to do have all been like, some things are worse than others, right, Jesse? Like, you make a mistake and sometimes you can walk it back. They just let a decade, like the post-Osama bin Laden, how are we going to do this? A decade worth of people that weren't quite the worst of the worst to get themselves dropped into Gitmo, but certainly bad enough that we don't ever want them on the streets again. So we threw them in a dark hole, and locked it up, out. And then the other thing that I find just fascinating is this administration continues to rely on the Taliban for American security, which is a whole other thing that could be its own 20-minute segment. We are now listening to the Taliban trying to spin their own PR of like, oh yeah, we didn't sanction these guys. Now, ISIS-K and the Taliban don't particularly like each other, but are we really surprised that the enemy of my enemy is my friend right now? Because I'm not.
All right, this book, The 20-Year War. It chronicles 71 veterans of the war in Afghanistan. Look, I never stepped foot in Afghanistan. I was an Iraq guy. You were. The floor is yours for a minute. What are you going through at the moment?
So actually, the book's people all across the global war on terror. We've got some people in Afghanistan, some people that went to Iraq like you did both, some more of the Africa stuff. It's really for everyone. It's a beautiful portrait book. It's right there. There's the capitalist in me. How am I feeling right now? I'm upset. And I'm upset because I can't understand why the administration continues to make the decisions that it does and why it continues to try and repeat history in the worst way on earth that led to the deadliest attack in American history, because that's exactly what they're doing. And I don't understand why. I don't, whether he's not listening to his advisors, whether he is not paying attention. I don't get it. And I'm just upset. Like, I'm just angry at this point. It's like, how much do all of the people that know what's going on have to keep spitting and screaming into the wind, or maybe he kind of listens? Or can we at least get him to like not do a press conference the way that he did yesterday? Because here's one other thing for you, Jesse, that I don't think I know people don't understand. So let me put this one out there, because this is the thing that makes me the angriest. I think it's the most vile thing this administration is doing. And I don't say that lightly. You notice how every single time they say every American who wants to leave, like we'll get everyone who wants to leave. Like, you hear that all the time, right? You want to know why he's saying that? Because, right now, in real time, I'm trying to get a man who's got an American passport out, his 16-year-old brother, okay? That man was under the impression that his 16-year-old brother, a child, the only family that he has, could not get out with him on his American passport. So right now, there are hundreds of Americans trying to make that exact same choice. And the administration is using that technicality as this convenient way to abdicate the eventual responsibility that they're going to have when all Americans don't come home. Because I'm the oldest of four. Okay, I joined the military in part in 1999 to get college money because I knew my parents at that time didn't have the money for all four of us to go to school, right? I stepped up. That's what an older brother does. Right now, you've got older brothers, you've got fathers, you've got sons that are having to make the choice of leaving on their American documents and possibly condemning their family to die, or staying with their family to try and find another way, and them possibly dying with them as well. That is absurd. That is disgusting. That is so lacking in the basic humanity of what America is supposed to be, and I don't understand why the administration is using that as this, frankly, political get-out-of-jail-free card in the press. Oh, well, everyone who wants to go.
Oh.
No, everyone wants to go. You're just forcing someone into an impossible choice.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me. Thanks.